The distress beacon had been silent for 3 cycles when the rescue pod finally descended through Kepler 442b's violet atmosphere. Elena watched from behind the crystalline outcropping, her torn expedition suit still displaying critical warnings across its damaged HUD. Beside her, the Valerian science officer K'Threk lay motionless, his biosigns dangerously low. The pod door hissed open, and a human emerged. Emmett checked his scanner, mud already caking his boots as he stepped into the alien terrain. The emergency signal had originated from this quadrant, but the forest ahead looked like something from a fever dream. Trees with silver bark that twisted in impossible geometries, ground cover that pulsed with bioluminescence, and an eerie silence that suggested this world's ecosystem operated on rules Earth had never imagined. Survivors detected. 40 meters northwest, his AI companion chirped. Warning, local flora analysis incomplete. Recommend extreme caution regarding consumption. Emmett found them in a natural shelter formed by collapsed rock formations. The human woman looked gaunt but alert, her dark hair matted with sweat. The alien beside her, Valerian, by the looks of the cranial ridges, was in far worse condition. Emmett Shun, Terran Search and Rescue. He introduced himself, already unpacking medical supplies. How long have you been stranded? Elena Reeves, xenobotanist. She replied, her voice hoarse. 17 days. Our shuttle crashed during the survey mission. K'Threk needs immediate attention. He's been unconscious for 2 days. Emmett's hands moved with practiced efficiency, applying emergency stabilizers to the Valorian's failing organs. 17 days? Your emergency rations were rated for 10 maximum. They ran out a week ago, Elena admitted. Emmett paused, studying her with new respect. She looked malnourished, but nowhere near the critical state he'd expect from 7 days without food. The Valerian, however, was clearly starving despite the medical intervention. How are you still standing? He asked. Elena's laugh was bitter. Because I'm human. And humans are really, really good at not starving. Over the next hour, while K'Threk stabilized under the medical pod's care, Elena showed Emmett what she'd learned. She led him through the camp's perimeter, pointing out discoveries that would have made any xenobiologist weep with envy. The silver bark peels in sheets, she explained, demonstrating on a nearby tree. The inner layer tastes like bitter celery, but it's digestible. 32% carbohydrates, minimal toxins that human livers process without issue. She handed him a strip. Valorians can't metabolize it. K'Threk tried on day 12. It made him violently ill. Emmett chewed thoughtfully. Terrible, but survivable. What else? The purple root clusters near water sources. Those are actually edible tubers. They're spicy enough to make your eyes water, but they're dense with nutrients. She knelt beside a glowing patch of fungus. This bioluminescent moss? It's bland as paste, but non-toxic. The blue berries on those low shrubs are technically fruit, though they're mostly fiber. She walked him through 47 distinct food sources she'd identified, tested, and cataloged. Some made Emmett's stomach turn just looking at them. The gelatinous sacs that oozed from certain tree hollows, the crunchy larvae she'd found beneath rocks, the bitter leaves that left a numbing sensation on the tongue. How did you know what was safe? Emmett asked, genuinely curious. Elena pulled out a battered datapad. Its screen cracked, but functional. Started with universal xenobiology principles, avoided anything with warning coloration patterns, tested small amounts, and waited for reactions, cross-referenced molecular structures where my scanner still worked. She paused. But mostly, human trial and error. Our species didn't become apex persistence hunters by being picky eaters. The Valerian couldn't do this. K'Threk's species evolved on a world with a narrow range of edible biomatter. Their digestive systems are efficient but specialized. She looked back toward the shelter where the Valerian rested. For them, if it's not within their biological parameters, it's poison. For humans, she shrugged. We have this annoying ability to digest almost anything organic. Our ancestors ate rotting meat, fermented vegetables, literal mold cultures. We domesticated poison into food. Emmett pulled out his own ration pack, breaking it in half and offering her a portion. She accepted gratefully, and he watched as she ate with careful, measured bites. The discipline of someone who'd learned to make every calorie count. You kept him alive, Emmett observed. He would have died without your half of the rations. Of course, Elena said simply. He's my colleague. My friend. Even though you were starving. I wasn't starving. I was hungry. She gestured at the alien forest around them. Humans have this terrible evolutionary advantage, Emmett. We're the species that looked at a world trying to kill us and said, but is it edible? We're the ones who survived ice ages by being too stubborn to die. Threk would have given me his rations if the situation were reversed. But it wasn't reversed. Because I'm human, and that means I can eat things that would kill most other species. Emmett helped her gather samples of the various food sources, documenting each one with professional thoroughness. His report would include every detail, not just as a survival guide, but as a testament to human adaptability. The rescue ship arrives in 6 hours, he told her. Threk will make a full recovery. Good, Elena said. She looked exhausted, relieved, and proud in equal measure that as they settled in to wait. Emmett couldn't help but smile. Across the galaxy, humanity had earned a reputation, sometimes feared, sometimes respected, often both. They were the species that looked at impossible odds and found a way. The ones who could survive anywhere, eat anything, outlast everyone. Emergency rations for 10 days. 47 edible things in a hostile alien ecosystem. 17 days of keeping herself and a dying colleague alive through nothing but human stubbornness and an evolutionary gift for turning probably poisonous into probably lunch. Welcome to Search and Rescue, Emmett said quietly. You'd make a hell of an operative. Elena smiled weakly. Thanks, but I think I'll stick to botany. At least plants don't crash land. In the violet twilight of Kepler 442b, 2 humans waited for rescue, surrounded by an alien world that had tried and failed to kill them. Somewhere in the shelter, a Valerian officer slept peacefully, saved by the simple fact that his companion was human, and humans were very, very hard to starve.